Hola y bienvenidos a todos, esto es Señores Mayores Frikis, yo soy el señor Pingüino. Hoy vamos a jugar la tercera partida de Not for Broadcast, a ver qué tal se nos da. La verdad es que el juego está yendo muy interesante, están saliendo cosillas muy divertidas. Daros gracias a todos los que os habéis suscrito o nos dejáis comentarios y veis los vídeos. Ya sabéis, si queréis podéis darle a suscribiros, darle like al vídeo o dejar un comentario, o invitarnos a un café en el enlace de Coffee. En la partida de hoy vamos a ver qué nos encontramos. La última que jugamos fue la de la pandemia y bueno, a ver qué nos depara hoy esta partida de Not for Broadcast. Así que empezamos. Vale, día 154, mal despertar. Vale, si recordáis, nos había pegado un calambrazo la mesa, habían pasado unas cosas un poco extrañas. Si queréis verlo, ya sabéis, tenéis el otro vídeo. Y nada, empezamos en el día 154, mal despertar. El pitido acompasado del monitor cardíaco te hace volver en ti. Al abrir los ojos, te recibes un semicírculo de rostros preocupados. Tu familia está contigo y es una escena bastante reconfortante en este lugar desconocido. Pestañeas unas cuantas veces para librarte del sueño y focalizas a todo el mundo. Sientes una mano sobre la tuya, amable y reconfortante. Sam está contigo, como siempre. Tiene el rostro cargado de preocupación, pero también de más afecto que nunca. Sabíamos que estarías bien, nunca lo dudamos. Pero como vea a Bosman, le oprimes la mano e intentas guiñar un ojo. Bueno, pocas decisiones hay que tomar por ahora. Empieza a desaparecer las arrugas de preocupación de la frente de Sam. Está más que claro que tenéis ya bastantes cosas de las que preocuparos como para encima tu salud se suma a la lista. La sonríes una última vez y te giras a mirar al resto de la familia. En cuanto Susie se ausenta, empiezas a notar la inquietud de Charlie, que intenta evitar mostrar cualquier tipo de inquietud. Charlie se pone tenso en cuanto te giras para mirarlo, y la preocupación le invade el rostro. O sea, fijo que estás bien, ¿no? Pregunta, al fin a la vez que desvía la mirada. Claro que sí, colegui, no hay de qué preocuparse. O estaré bien, Charlie, deja la sábana en paz. Pues claro que sí, colegui. Charlie te mira y esboza una sonrisa. Es una de esas tan contagiosas que no tardan en extenderse por toda la sala. Siempre es un placer tenerlo a tu lado. Dejas de sonreír en cuanto ves a tu madre que se encuentra mirando por la ventana con desgana. A pesar de todo lo que has hecho, no se encuentra demasiado bien últimamente. ¿Te encuentras bien, mamá? Tu madre se sorprende tanto cuando la llamas que sale de su ensoñación. Se gira y te sonríe y te alegras de ver que te reconoce, cosa cada vez más atípica. Pues claro, cielo, ¿cómo te encuentras? Sonríes y asientes, pero antes de que te pueda responder una doctora entra en la sala y echa a todo el mundo. Te pregunta como mínimo por enésima vez cómo te encuentras, dadas las circunstancias bastante bien. Perfecto. No hay signos de daño, solo un poco de conmoción en el sistema antiguo, como si le hubiera dado un calambre, dice con una sonrisa en la cara. No te recomendaría volver a hacer nada parecido. Claro, pero tendrás el frescor de una lechuga en cuanto descanses un par de días en casa. Se da la vuelta para irse, pero se detiene en la puerta. Ah, y tanto la habitación como los cuidados, dice la doctora mientras señala la sala, que parece bastante cara, corre todo a cuenta del señor Bosman. Te ha dejado esas flores y dice que no te preocupes y que puedes tomarte todo lo que queda de semana libre. Operéis el lunes. Es lo mínimo que podía hacer. Hombre, pues... ¿puede los calambrazos? Vale. Día 180. Una carga que soportar. Bien, dinero actual, pobre como una rata. Llegas a casa después de trabajar hasta tarde y ves que la luz de la cocina sigue encendida, cosa que no suele ser buena señal. Todos suelen estar en la cama a estas horas. Abres la puerta de la cocina con cuidado y ves a Sam en la mesa. Tiene un montón de documentos y facturas delante, y por lo que parece el segundo paquete de galletas que se ventila. Te da un besito cuando te sientas a su lado. Sam frunce el ceño y vuelve a mirar la factura que tiene entre manos. Hola cielo, estaba echando un ojo a las facturas, nada más. Mira hacia la puerta de la despensa que se ha convertido en la habitación de tu madre. Hemos hecho lo que hemos podido, pero creo que Cassandra necesita una enfermera que la cuide. De repente, lo único que ves son las facturas. Llevo toda la noche ojeando las facturas. Sam te coge la mano con los ojos llenos de lágrimas. No nos lo podemos permitir de ninguna manera, lo siento mucho. La mesa de la cocina te invade la vista. Sam se levanta y te abraza con fuerza, pero no puedes dejar de pensar en tu madre. ¿Cómo puedes permitirte pagarle lo que necesita? ¿Qué pensaría tu padre? ¿Esta es la utopía prometida por Alban? Miras hacia la puerta del cuarto provisional de tu madre. Mañana tendrás que decirse a los niños, y luego tendrás que pedir cita en el centro de transición. ¿Qué más podrías haber hecho? ¡Qué chungo! Día 201. Una carta para casa. Sam está fuera por trabajo esta noche y Charlie se queda en casa de un amigo. La casa es tuya. Pides algo de comer, te tomas un par de copas y te relajas delante de la tele. La programación no es de lo mejor, pero seguro que hay algo que ver. Te apetecen unas risas y que toca comedia. Sam no está, pero te atreves a ver algo de miedo sin compañía. Quieres desconectar, así que te descantas por algo de acción. A Sam no le apasionan los dramas históricos, así que aprovechas para ponerte las botas porque no está. Venga, vamos a ver algo de miedo. La ambientación y el argumento son mucho mejor de lo que te esperabas, así que te llevas más de un susto. Tras una aparición bastante impactante del leñador, pateas sin querer la mesa y aparece un objeto diminuto debajo de las patas. Cuando te agachas para cogerlo, te acuerdas de la nota que ha dejado Sam en la nevera. Oh cielo, Charlie ha perdido el regalo de Susie. ¿Te importaría buscarlo esta noche? Besos. Cuando lo tienes en la mano te sorprende ver que el regalo es un mechero grabado para Carlitos. No se cansa de repetir que es un mote cariñoso, pero Charlie pone mala cara siempre que lo llama así. No tienes muy claro que a Sam le fuera a parecer bien. La nota de Susie dice: Incordistán tiene la tradición de glorificar el arte de provocar incendios, así que pensé que te gustaría. No hagas bobadas, Susie. Espero que sea un recuerdo y no un pasatiempo nuevo al que le ha cogido gusto el chaval. Se va a volver pirómano. O al que se lo empezará a coger. Muy bonito que haya pensado en él. Vale. Vale, día 232. El silencio. Vale, pues aquí estamos otra vez ya en la mesa de edición. ¿Y qué pasa? Ah, hay que encender aquí. Vale. Encendemos todo. Aquí hay un ventilador. Cámara 1. Nadie me dice nada. Me han puesto una tarjetita de que me recupere. Vale.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny.
Vamos a ver. ¿Qué está pasando?
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
part of a team these
Vale,
days.
10 segundos.
Stop being so high-minded and do your job.
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
Vale.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dalton. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people
en el
of
país.
this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging,
Si no
include
acepto
restrictions on the
sanciones.
supply of oil and gas, food,
Vale, sanciones al
clothing, and even some
combustible.
medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What are your reaction to the sanctions?
Well, it's fucking outrageous. My mom needs insulin.
Vale,
What's supposed to get a
censurar.
transition? What's the government doing about it? Eh? What's the government doing about it?
Thanks, Patrick.
Vale.
Important stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Controversial Prime Minister Julia Salisbury attempting to assuage growing public concerns with the following official statement released earlier today.
The international sanctions declared against this country today by the World Council remind us that now, more than ever, we need to come together as a team. Since coming
¿qué
to
pasa?
power, we have eradicated
La sonda,
poverty
ya estamos.
and, as a consequence, seen crime fall
Ya
to levels
estamos.
previously thought impossible.
¿Qué está pasando?
Our schools, hospitals and youth clubs are thriving, and our transition centres
Ahora
have
con la
enabled many
palanquita.
thousands to
A ver, a
unburden
ver, a ver, a ver, a
their
ver.
lives
Esto
with
se
dignity. In any sane world, we would be held up as a model to emulate.
va la imagen.
Evidently, this is not that world.
Aquí se están haciendo más pequeñas,
The
vale.
privileged few have
No sé qué
lobbied,
está diciendo.
and
No sé qué
now
está
they are
diciendo.
striking back. But we will not cower before their tantrums.
Vale,
And we
vale.
encourage other progressive nations of the world to continue to trade, visit, and
Oh, no han
share
puesto
their
los
cultures
anuncios.
with ours. Do not be afraid. We have more friends than we can count. We are a team. Now more
No
than
han puesto
ever.
los anuncios.
And this team is on your side. Thank you.
En el pirado, por supuesto.
Reassuring stuff.
Vale.
But what do you,
¿Qué ha
the
dicho?
public, think of our refreshingly different government? Robin Short found out.
Neutrales, no sé lo que ha dicho. Neutrales. Qué cagada lo de los anuncios. Menos mal que me he dado cuenta.
I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on the current government.
I'm not really very interested in politics, really. As Mother always said, leave politics to the politicians, Malcolm.
A Flard day's night. Following the release of the Flardmaster 5000, production of Flards are at an all-time high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard, the team at Remington
Eso es bueno, voy a poner felices porque hay más, pero...
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick to find out.
Pero no sé qué son los flardos.
Do you have an opinion of Flards at all?
Oh my god, I love Flards. Doesn't everyone? Do you even remember when we didn't have Flards and we had to rely on words? Oh, I'd never go back.
Bueno.
Pipers at the gates of dawn. Commuters in the capital this morning found themselves surprised and amused by the latest stunt from popular pressure group Disrupt.
Silent protests were held outside underground stations throughout the capital, bringing a pleasantly surreal quality to the morning.
Venga, neutrales con las protestas.
But how do we, as a country,
Protestas silenciosas.
Disrupt? Robin?
Do you have any feelings about Disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As
Se hacen protestas silenciosas y son ruidosos.
To the rebels, Malcolm.
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft which will hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his
Venga, estos
shed,
enfadados,
it sounds
que
like
siempre
the
los pongo
unfortunate
bien.
team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Dare I ask you about the blueprints?
Well, mate, I've never been a submarine engineer, but I have tinkered with a few motors in my time, and I can tell you that thing is not going to work. I'd rather trust my life to Uncle Pat, and I murdered him 10 years ago.
Y lo asesiné.
Oh, what? It's because you're joking. It's funny. Are you...
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team Membership Cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new...
Vale, estas son las tarjetitas que me pidió el otro día el
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge.
Enfadados,
It
claro.
all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your berry hair.
Oh, crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! I'm so sorry. Crikey!
Como se ha puesto la mujer.
And finally tonight, getting stuck in a shameless attempt to cash in on his bad boy status, shame celebrity Johnny Hamsleeves announced a new line of real ale at a press conference earlier today.
The new brew, entitled Headbutt Ale in reference to his controversies of last year, promises a night you'll pretend you regret.
Or possibly a night you'll pretend you remember.
So what should we all think of Johnny's latest attempt to market his notoriety? Patrick?
Oh my god, fantastic!
Your thoughts there.
Later tonight, in a break from our usual responsibilities, Jeremy will be taking popular rapper Jesus to task over his street credibility. And then we'll both be meeting the team behind the new play that's got theatre critics buzzing with anticipation.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
¿Qué pasa ahora? ¿Qué pasa? A ver. Estoy viendo la cabecera y se me van las ondas. ¿Me va a dar tiempo a cambiar de cámara?
First tonight, let's return to our main story.
Medio tiempo,
With the shine coming off advances popularity
and the honeymoon period pretty much over,
the national nightly news has spared no expense in bringing you the response to today's sanctions from across the continent.
Joining us to help digest this shocking development are Prime Minister Peter Clement from his home in Lanfordshire.
Good evening, Jeremy.
And from Urkistan, Foreign Minister Ivan Vodovich.
It's a great pleasure. Miss Wolf, you're like...
And from Svenland, Minister of Mojo, Björn.
Hey, everybody.
Minister Vodovich, your country pushed especially hard for these sanctions. Any regrets?
My only regret is I was not able to see the face of my old friend Peter Clements when the results of the vote were announced. As you say, he has one up in your bottoms.
In Finland, we try not to gloat, actually, because it's seen as really ugly and dangerous to some small creatures, yeah?
Oh, don't worry, Minister. Ivan and I go way back. He's a wind-up merchant who can't put for shite. He's just trying to get a rise out of me.
You're like a man who loads dissidents onto train to labor camp, not because of love of country, but to make up for size of his tiny penis.
Been on the vodka, Ivan.
No more than you. I see you on election night with mouth like man thinks he's singing beautiful lullaby. But actually he's squealing like a pig in hands of Randy Big Dick Farmer, eh?
Actually, we Svenlandians, we aren't size obsessed. We value passion, yeah? Like the way we spoke up for Mr. Clements' country at the World Council.
That's all well and good. And high and mighty, but where were you for the actual vote, then? Our finger in each other's fjords.
Menos mal que es su aliado.
That's kind of racist. And if you must know, I've had like a really tiring afternoon and my tongue is very taut.
Prime Minister, with advances popularity on the wane...
You don't have to bring that up at every given opportunity, you know.
Peter, he's like man who thinks he's sniffing flowers in beautiful glade. But he's actually standing on the outflow pipe from Shit Factory at shit flushing time on day of village festival of shit. I tell him this at 19th hole.
Minister Vodovich believes that people will behave selfishly.
It's nature of all beasts.
However, in this country, we think our citizens are capable of being more than beasts.
Pathetic idealism.
Minister Björk, Svenland has long had radically different traditions and cultures from the rest of the world, and yet it peacefully coexists. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, I think maybe the world sees us as something they can actually spiritually be enlightened to, yeah?
Yeah, or maybe it's the orgy houses.
Sometimes, when foreign dignitaries come to visit us, they're actually quite skeptical, actually. So we take them on a visit to the Donga district and show them what like a progressive, enlightened society looks like, yeah?
Shit of bull. Svenland is like woman who thinks she makes best cake in village hot baking contest. And then when she slices it open, it's just full of piss and cum.
That's just really gross, actually.
Svenland is a teeny tiny country with population smaller than number of people Peter Clements has sexed with his teeny tiny penis.
It's not all about size, actually.
Yes, that's what Peter Clements always claimed.
I'm talking about population.
Se me está yendo la cámara.
I'm talking about Peter Clements' teeny tiny...
Oh, fuck off, Ivan!
Oh, Prime Minister, please.
It's so easy to sit on your pile of money and gloat, isn't it, pal? You're a shite leader. A fucking god-awful golfer. And quite frankly, as my old man used to say, you're a bit of a cunt.
Prime Minister, please.
You always cunt.
Minister Vodovich, please.
You people are fucking starving, pal.
We will see how well-fed your people are when the sanctions start to bite.
Me cago en la leche.
You think you're man like big, scary wolf person terrorizing village, when actually a pathetic goose person searching puddle for tiny dropped-off penis.
Why are you so obsessed about small cocks, mate?
In Finland, we believe like the size of your penis isn't as important as
Lo recupera un poco.
Oh, fuck off, yeah.
Okay, if everybody could just calm down.
You're so smug on golf course. You're like man who fuck pig and somehow give birth to beautiful lady girl. But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
It's certainly true that advances popularity...
It's on the fucking wane! Yeah, let's go with this bollocks again. Shall we? Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Prime Minister, please don't storm out.
No. I have had enough of you, Mr. Jeremy Donaldson, and your snide aside.
Porque está harto
de... make a better job of things, do ya? Because it's not that fucking easy, let me tell ya. Your channel is a fucking disgrace. You insinuate and edit against us and pick your headlines so people don't trust us. The sooner you roaring monsters are taken into public ownership, the happier everyone in this country will be.
Well, we've not got long until the adverts, so...
Look, I'm sorry for the outburst, Miss Wolf. Julia thinks very highly of you, and I know you're not the one making the editorial decisions.
Me está hablando a mí.
Anything you wish to add about the sanctions?
My work here is done. I like Manu happy, he lie down with fatty, drunk, easy girl from Village Inn, who discover in morning he wake up next to beautiful news reporter lady.
I think it would be a terrible shame, yeah, if the people of your country were to suffer because of teenage grudges and personal rivalries, yeah.
Thank you. Prime Minister?
This country, this wonderful, civilized, creative, inventive country, we're not scared of these sanctions. There's no wolves at our door, only the best of people striving to help out. So no, Ivan, we're not afraid. In fact, I doubt we'll lose a wink of sleep because we're strong and we're well resourced.
Bueno, el discurso motivacional.
And on that note, we have to wrap up.
Ministers, Prime Minister, thank you for joining us.
We'll be back after these messages.
Anuncio.
Peter, it's so easy. So many buttons to push.
Piss off, Ivan.
Well, I see you at Graham's this week.
No, I've got meetings. Some tossers impose sanctions on the country.
Well, shit.
I mean, wow.
So that happened. Roaring monsters.
Public ownership.
You two are
Juego de mesa.
who think you are king and queen of village when actually you are just puppets on a string of evil kitty hand puppet ladies.
¿Qué pasa?
Government censorship should show up in blue.
Censura en azul.
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Vale, las ondas que salen en azul son en la censura de Advance. Vale.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
Están terminando los anuncios, todavía queda un ratito.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite alright.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself.
Vale, empezaré con este, ¿no? No. Empezará ella, que le presentará a él.
5, 4, 3.
Vale.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan.
Cambia muy pronto.
I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to...
Hay que subir la audiencia. Tenemos una audiencia muy mediocre.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. She let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man.
No ha salido ninguna censura,
I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets.
Salió todavía censura azul.
I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What
18 meses.
You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
A ver, la historia del rapero.
Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you
¿Y si no censuro lo azul, qué pasa?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. That couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say...
Estaba leyendo lo que decían y no me...
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of a...
Or maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yes.
Aprobado.
You love it?
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system.
Me van a fastidiar con toda la censura, ya verán.
So here he is with a new song.
Vamos a censurar poco lo azul.
It's Jesus.
First, you're gonna pay up.
Vale, aquí no hay música, no hay que... Sí.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job, he's unfaithful. It's time to stone a country.
Se me ha colado una.
So this is for the snubbed ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration.
Se me está colando mogollón.
The ones who built a business out of dreams of prosperation. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise of the press of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. And the take is right, and the stay here.
Me cuelan todas las censuras.
Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bed gutters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's fake as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to steal the castle with the motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that clean, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little
no me da la vida.
Cause they're stale and corrupt, then your anger erupt, then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jay's us there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Vale, esa cámara.
Well, I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe it.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that.
Baje peligroso.
Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ad.
Vale.
Fixing that old VCR.
No, this is ridiculous.
Last ad break.
It's just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask you to leave this.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
¿Cuál está funcionando ahora, ve? Vale. Vale. Este de avance es obligatorio, pero creo que no le voy a poner. Paso. Vale, en plan... Neil el pirano está con su anuncio. Porque lleva cuernos.
Oh, here we go.
Vale.
Look at him.
Cámara, cámara.
Just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy.
Bueno, pero sí, sí.
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Radin.
What?
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower-order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Vale.
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Vale, empezamos en cámara 1.
5, 4, 3.
Vale.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Radin, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to train me sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured
audiencia está muy mediocre.
How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
No se nos está dando tan bien.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well,
After the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director,
este es el de la canción de instituto.
I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really get into the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad,
Vale,
you
esta
promised you'd
es
come
la
to my
obra.
graduation. I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the house!
Pero si es lo mismo.
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. You know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Qué cagada.
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest,
Tengo la audiencia muy mediocre.
really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Dragón.
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties.
Esto está pagado todo con dinero público.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
Vale.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes.
Sí,
It's
increíble.
unbelievable.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe.
Vale.
And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Anuncios.
We must stop
Este ya es el final, ¿no?
like this, eh?
I'm Sophia Remington,
Del oso, maldito.
so excited to be able to tell you about our newest product. Everybody loves flowers. After all, from holding your house up to keeping your bills down, there really seems to be no limit to their uses.
¿Qué tal? Secuencia. Uf. Es que la primera, la de en medio ha sido peor todavía. No me... nada. Tu salario completo. Pobre como una rata. Audiencia. Regular. Advance está cabreado. Los rebeldes suben. Y el canal le caigo bien. Día 242. Una escalera que merece la pena subir. Es una tarde de domingo veraniega y tranquila. San y tú estáis aprovechando el tiempo ahora que los niños están en casa. Entras en la despensa y te detienes un momento para recordar que solía ser la habitación de tu madre antes de salir con las 2 últimas porciones de tarta casera. San y tú no soléis gozar de la oportunidad de acabar los dulces de la casa, así que saboráis hasta el último bocado. De repente, justo cuando acabas el último trozo, oyes la puerta de entrada cerrarse de golpe. Seguro que Charlie ha vuelto de los emprendedores. Lo oyes ir en vuestra búsqueda a toda velocidad, y en cuanto se encuentra, ves la sonrisa que lleva de oreja a oreja. Traigo un pedazo de notición. Sam y tú le seguís el rollo sin levantaros y con una gota de ansiedad en el cuerpo. ¿Os lo cuento? Pregunta Charlie. Sam y tú asentís con ganas. Hace una floritura para enseñaros una placa nueva que tiene en su bolsillo, y os la presenta para que echéis un vistazo mientras dice: a partir de hoy soy miembro de la primera línea de los cadetes de cohesión. Voy a hacer muchas cosas, y me tocará currar algunos fines, pero mola un montón. Sam le da la enhorabuena a Charlie, pero tú no puedes evitar fruncir el ceño, como cambian los adolescentes. Sam y tú le sonreís a vuestro chiquillo, es una alegría que esté contento y que le vaya bien. Yo frunzo el ceño, es que no mola que estáis metido. Día 278. Una señal de lo que nos espera. Ir de compras era algo bastante tedioso antes de las sanciones, pero ahora es incluso peor. Has conseguido comprar todo lo que necesitas esta noche para la familia, pero tendrás que volver mañana para tener suficiente para la semana entera. Hay cola para salir del aparcamiento, pero cuesta averiguar el motivo con lo oscuro que está todo. Esperas que lo provoca no dure demasiado. Cuando se va el último coche que tienes delante, te percatas de que en la cola se debe a un puesto de control que hay en la salida. Un hombre de aspecto amable, que lleva un uniforme de Advance adornado por una ACC por aquí y por allá, se acerca a tu coche y te pica en la ventanilla del lado del conductor. Bajas la ventanilla. Buenas noches, no se preocupe. ¿Podría enseñarme la tarjeta de miembro del equipo, por favor? ¿No se supone que lo de tener tarjeta era algo voluntario? Lo siento, no tengo. No se preocupe, tenemos aquí unos formularios y nos encantaría hacerle el registro. El hombre señala a la compañera que tiene tras él, una joven con un uniforme parecido. Es evidente que se ha quedado con la peor parte y le toca hacer todo el papeleo. Pues supongo que eso haré, ya que estáis aquí. Creí que no era obligatorio tener tarjeta. No es obligatorio tenerla, no. Pero es que la tarjeta cuenta con una gran variedad de beneficios y no hay motivo para no tenerla. La sonrisa que tiene plasmada en el rostro se desvanece un poco, y cuando se pone a rascarse la nuca, se inclina hacia ti, haciendo que su presencia sea un poco imponente. Tienes razón, hazme el papeleo, o no gracias, es que ahora no me interesa. Pues no gracias. La actitud amable se esfuma prácticamente al instante, la reemplaza una expresión de desaprobación. Bueno, no puedo obligar a nadie a pedirla, pero le recomiendo que lo haga, y pronto. No queremos que la gente crea que tiene algo que esconder, ¿no? Da un paso hacia atrás y te hace un gesto para que arranques. Cuando empiezas a dirigirte a casa con mucha más prisa que antes, lo ves escribiendo algo por el retrovisor. Se nota que los de Advance tienen bastante interés porque la gente se une al equipo. Qué chungo esto, qué distópico todo. Día 290. Una invitación que es mejor ignorar. Es sábado, uno de tus pocos días libres, y lo has aprovechado al máximo. Pero a medida que llega la tarde, ves como la invitación de la nevera te dedica una mirada acusatoria. La gala del Canal 1 es un evento de trabajo obligatorio, te dijo Busman sin pensarlo 2 veces. No se te ocurra llegar tarde. Será mejor que no te arriesgues a enfrentarte a la ira de Busman, tienes que ir. Ya te has perdido tu aniversario este año, así que no vas a renunciar otro sábado. Pues habrá que ir, a ver, muy a mi pesar. Será mejor que empieces a prepararte. Te preguntas si Sam podrá llevarte. Seguro que una bebida o 2 te van bien para socializar a la fuerza con la gente de la oficina. Con un poco de suerte no será terrible. El trabajo se te da bastante bien, la verdad. ¿No? No, se me da regular solo. Vale, día 290, noche del informativo nacional. Llegas a tiempo al Subanión, por los pelos, uno de los hoteles más antiguos y espléndidos de la capital. Te sorprendes al ver que hay cola para entrar, pero te das cuenta de que es porque el personal de aspecto bastante militar y ataviado con una indumentaria formal está cacheando a la gente a la entrada. Mientras esperas te fijas en la opulencia del edificio. Es probable que sea el lugar más sofisticado al que has ido. Dejas que te cacheen y suspiras de alivio cuando te dejan pasar al hotel. Cuando entras te hacen pasar al salón principal, sigues las indicaciones y no puedes evitar maravillarte por la magnitud del lugar y por la enorme cantidad de guardias que hay. Al llegar una mujer con expresión un tanto severa en el rostro te pregunta cómo te llamas. Soy Alex Winston. Comprueba la lista antes de susurrarle algo al camarero que está junto a ella. Llega justo a tiempo para el inicio de la cena. Emmanuel irá con usted a su mesa, vaya con él si es tan amable. El camarero te sonríe y abre una de las puertas dobles haciendo un gesto para que pases. Ahora ya sabes por qué es el salón principal. Te detienes un segundo para asimilarlo todo. Alguien te toca brazo y el Manuel te hace un gesto para que lo sigas. Te lleva hasta una mesa en la parte central que tiene una vista bastante decente del escenario. Se nota que estás en la lista de los favoritos de Boseman. Compartes una mesa con algunos de los compañeros que has visto en las oficinas del Canal 1, pero no los conoces demasiado. Uno de ellos te dice con demasiada emoción en el cuerpo que es una noche de premios y discursos. Como mínimo, seguro que la comida está buena. La cena está muy bien y gracias al vino, que no dudas ni por un instante que es caro, las conversaciones salen solas. De hecho, para tu sorpresa, te dan el premio al mejor principiante de la familia del Canal 1. Eso sí que no te lo esperabas. Cuando te acercas a recogerlo, ves que el presentador es el Dr. Adrian Atkinson Birley, de Incisivos. Le da las gracias a Advan por patrocinar la gala de este año y después también agradece los premios a los ministros Julia Salisbury y Peter Clement por asistir esa noche. Al subir al escenario te encuentras con los primeros ministros Boseman, Meghan y más gente adinerada de la que no reconoces en la mesa de la parte central que está más al frente. Eso explica lo de la seguridad. Cuando te dan el premio, el Dr. Atkinson Birley te pregunta si quieres decir unas palabras. Te pones un poco nervioso, así que empiezas a parlotear para alabar a Advance y al Canal 1. Haces una broma para dar las gracias a Dave por huir del país y dejarte su puesto. Me tienta la broma, me tienta la broma. Es que no quiero alabar a Advance. Broma. La mayoría del salón empieza a reír, pero los primeros ministros no hacen ni siquiera un intento de sonrisa. Boseman tampoco, está muy ocupado mirando a Peter y a Julia para ver cómo reaccionan, y además te fulmina a ti con la mirada. Al final, también empieza a aplaudir cuando Adrian te manda de vuelta a tu sitio. No te has decantado por la mejor jugada. Cuando estás a punto de terminar la cena, uno de los de las mesas señala algo detrás de ti. Al girarte ves pasar de largo a Boseman en compañía de Julia Salisbury y Peter Clement. Está claro que te ha ignorado deliberadamente. Parece que le está presentando a la gente de otras mesas a los primeros ministros. Mejor ellos que tú. Te acabas lo que te queda de comida, escuchas los últimos discursos y te vas a casa. Al final la noche ha estado bastante bien. A lo mejor hasta esperas con ganas la próxima. Si Boseman te invita, claro. La he cagado. Te he cagado con el jefe. Día 296, ola de calor. Vale, vamos a encender. Las válvulas se sobrecalientan. Si se calientan, salta la palanca. Vale. Cuando se haya enfriado la palanca, vuelve. Vale. Apuntando el ventilador. ¿Y cómo? Vale, ahí apunto el ventilador. Ahí. Vale. Vale, tengo que estar pendiente. Vale, esto y vamos a ponerlo a anuncios. Obligatorio, tarjeta de miembro Advance. No. Videoconsola doméstica. Videoconsola. Campamento de verano. ¿Y qué es esto? Mi atrevido champú de ojos.
So we've got any actual real news tonight.
Es que quiero ver el anuncio de la consola. A ver, hemos empezado ya. Empezamos, sí.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
The regrettable decision taken by the World Council this morning have left the citizens of this country isolated and fearful, but Advance have prepared for this day. Our stockpiles are large, our wealth is unfathomable, and we will defend our citizens with every last breath from this brutal and calculated act of war. We are with you. One
Acto de guerra.
team. Indivisible.
Acto de guerra, eso suena familiar.
Thank you.
Vale.
Top beer, as his new line of ales goes from strength to strength. Johnny Hamsleeves seems to be really capitalizing on his success. The former footballer turned entrepreneur seems to be as comfortable in the boardroom as he ever did on the pitch, as Headbutt Ale smashes projected sales figures yet again. To celebrate the achievement, Johnny treated himself to a 24-karat gold toilet he calls Golden Johnny's Golden John. Worth more than the GDP of some nations, the gaudy monstrosity is just as impractical as it is garish, as within hours of getting it home, Johnny slipped off the solid gold seat and cracked 2 ribs on the diamond bathtub. In it to win it, exciting news from Advance today, with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team members of card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if it's lucky winners' delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Kiss me, Flardy. The nation's favourite all-rounder, the humble Flard, has risen to new heights today after a surprise announcement. The news that Flard fans all over the territory have been waiting for is finally here. In a statement met with universal delight, Remington's Fist unveiled the next chapter for a faithful family favourite, the Flard. Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury Boatshoe, rumoured to be mortal enemies, are to reunite to celebrate their one mutual love in Die Flard, the movie. Self-confessed Flardy, Sophia Remington, said, "It's only right that the real hero of our age takes centre stage in this no-holds-Flard action thriller." Back to basics. It seems the team trapped in Dante's taint could be facing a problem too great even for them, as escape plans are scrapped. An image transmitted from deep within the cave system shows the doctors moments after they receive the news that they have lost public support for their reckless escape attempt. Could this serious setback prove fatal for their already troubled homeward venture? Despite the devastating blow, somehow Doctors Wong and Sforsborg and Horgensford seem resolute and united. But without hope of returning home, what will they turn their iron will to instead? If you have any suggestions, perhaps dig a big hole and scream them into the earth. Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last week. Scuffles broke out after the protests, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves, who are Disrupt? And what exactly do they want? Other than a new box of matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and a proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
¿Qué pasa? Ya estamos, ya estamos. Venga. Sube. Se ha ido, se ha ido, se ha ido. No va. No se mueve.
Our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf, who's running on scene to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
Ah, esta está en la playa. Qué bien. Ay, es que se maneja muy mal.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
Sudan los párpados. A ver, otra vez esto.
What's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
Súper mosqueado con lo del ventilador.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running. So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
Tiene pinta de estar muerto, claro.
None of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personality.
Ahí.
Oh, here we go.
Vale.
And, as expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on.
Ay, ha entrado la censura. ¿Qué pasa ahora? No, las ondas se me dan muy mal. Encima la audiencia no está subiendo. Suena algo raro.
Here it just
says
shit.
Look at you.
Vale.
It's a celebration. Can't go around looking like that. There you go. Much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this?
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running
out. Absolutely right.
Extiéndete y déjate ahí en medio. Parece que ya se voy controlando un poco el ventilador.
I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery.
Vale, los ganadores de la lotería.
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Vale.
And all that we had to do
con las onditas, de verdad.
Form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
Ay, venga.
I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury.
Hagan una cena con la Julia.
Restaurant.
Menudo premio. Claro, era mejor que el dinero. Premiazo. Desatascar los desagües. Vamos.
You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, one of the sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing birds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish birds. I write poetry.
Potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
Venga, más o menos, lo vamos llevando.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Que lo obligaron a escribirse. Menuda lotería.
Who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No.
Or an anthology of
antología de haikus, madre.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really?
Colección de mierdas. A ver. Claro, es que...
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming.
Me había parecido que se había fastidiado el otro a la vez.
It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Tengo un mosqueo.
Today on the show there's no news. Just a man.
Venga, tú suelta tu poema y ves. Algo tenía que pasar. No pueden comprar un ventilador decente.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
De ojos
azules. The national news lost its
mojón.
When it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, It's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country.
No te vayas.
And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else.
¿Qué pasa?
Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink? Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punk.
Vale.
Do you know what it's like,
Ponte en el centro.
being the second smelliest town?
Que luego me la lías.
In the shadow of arse
Ojetón.
But who's laughing now, eh?
Censura.
That's for sure. So what happened, mate? Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory. You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flard factory.
¿Qué son los flardos? Sigo sin saber qué son los flardos.
But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted.
¿Qué pasa?
Here. Does the stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps
fría.
a tax return or completing the physical act of life.
Fría. ¿Qué pasa?
At first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
Ya estamos.
So, what's the sickness? Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms.
Bueno,
now, folk are saying something
se va manteniendo la audiencia, más o menos.
Carcasses directly into the water main, but
sube tímidamente.
Probably a few valves on the high street. On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms? Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition. Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp? Next according is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
¿Qué pasa?
Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now.
Vale.
Oh my God, look at me.
Las dos cosas a la vez. ¿Es que?
I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me?
Vale.
I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want. That'll be a bout of undeserved self-confidence. Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon.
¿Qué le pasa?
And the ennui. All is left now.
Otra vez, es que menuda mierda de ventilador. No puede estar funcionando 2 minutos seguidos. Pero este parece... que ha chupado sapos.
Don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels.
Es que cuando no es una cosa es otra, de verdad es que no me dejan.
Right.
Centro.
That's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons.
Que se apaga.
Jeremy.
Ah, mira la ventana.
Thanks, man.
El efecto del calor.
Naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak. When we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Vale. Tenemos un invitado que podría ser controvertido. Advan quiere que lo censuremos, se va por las ramas. Estoy haciendo un buen trabajo, bueno.
And I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean?
La videoconsola.
My mic is still.
These graphics are amazing, Brad. That actually looks a bit like a real tank.
Oh, gee, Janet. What a time to be alive.
Vale.
Surely games can't get any better than this. And that sound.
It's like a digital symphony, Brad. Are they playing more than one note at the same time?
Up to 4, Janet.
Más de una nota a la vez. Vale, pues venga, preparados para la siguiente parte. A ver si me... A ver si somos capaces, porque...
We should be doing an interview with the war minister.
Fútbol de gatos.
Or a report from Grantham Downs. Even the weather's more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly.
Fútbol de gatos.
People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Please take your
sí, hace calor.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5 4 3.
Vale.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. See, I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election, and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that
not according to
Madre mía. ¿Qué pasó?
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just reminded that he can't help it.
Se me cuela todo.
This isn't live television. Then what is it?
A fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say. Oh, wow, we may have to end that now, unfortunately.
Madre mía, no me da la vida, no me da la vida.
Steady on! This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect. Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin, a ginger tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
Alex, cut.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football. We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these 3 fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go. Before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Good. Right then. Yes. You in the broadcast center.
¿Qué pasa? Soy yo.
You listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines. And when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now,
venga.
All cameras. All of you.
This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of
Yo
the
sabré qué
studio
hacer.
is either
Que no negocien con
one-sided
terroristas.
or for now, we're
Ve,
going to
pues.
show the other side for it. For a bit of fucking balance. Like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you.
Pues la he puesto, la he puesto. La cinta no negociamos con terroristas, pero... Bueno.
I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
Somos de... Ah, disrupción. Vale, a ver, ¿qué tienen que decir? Seguramente de sí. Otra organización sin rostro.
My name is James. I used to try and shock people for a living, for entertainment. Now we live in a time where perhaps you need to be shocked. Perhaps we need to wake up. Advance are coming for our freedoms. They're coming for the fruits of our labors. They will take our wealth. They will euthanize our parents and smiling throughout. They will turn our children
Es que este tío es muy loco, es que este tío está muy loco.
How long?
have to accept it.
Jeremy, please.
How long?
17 seconds.
And the studio doors are all still locked?
Find us.
Yes.
Talk with us.
Madre, este se le ha ido el panchito completamente.
It isn't hard.
I don't know.
We're everywhere.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had speech, look. But this was unexpected.
A ver.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
Please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News, and is someone
Los tienen secuestrados.
well, a friend. And next to her is... What's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman.
Policía.
We don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer.
Ah, este es de los que me han parado antes en el
And
coche.
how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
Este es de los que me han parado en el coche.
It's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I can't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
Don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. You'd want to do this.
Pero este se le ha ido el panchito mogollón.
Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Vale.
Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
There's a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Claro, es que es el loco.
No, I didn't know. The people I met were with. He wasn't there. I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry, but seriously.
Es el loco.
Fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker.
Right.
He's popular in the country. He's popular in the country.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James.
Vale.
There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well,
no pienso censurar nada.
That we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these?
No pienso censurarlo, datos.
Point, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you.
¿Qué va a hacer?
You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help, Andy?
Yes, what did you say?
Here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop. They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now.
Vale.
You can go now.
Vale.
You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me.
Ahí. Frente.
This new regime of ours is so seductive.
Madre mía, este se le ha ido el panchito mogollón.
Hand off our freedoms. Should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have?
Este está soltando todo lo gordo.
Instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you to see that broadcast from the last break. I didn't know it was going to be
Madre
here.
mía.
But I guess
Se le está yendo el panchito.
We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's also fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried.
Estar cambiando de cámara así cuando tampoco hay muchas cosas. No le veo mucho el sentido, aunque me suba la audiencia.
And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this
No te mates, que tú me caes bien.
I've lost this fight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show this. Cut to the ads.
My name's Jamie Donaldson.
Do it now.
If you can. Somehow. I envy you if you can.
¿Pero por qué?
Have a peaceful night.
No.
Jeremy!
¡Hola! ¡Hola! Pues lo bien que me caía. Se le ha ido el panchito mogollón. Sigo pobre. Deuda preocupante. Vale. Un corazón roto. Bueno, esto ha sido todo por hoy. Como podéis ver, ha sido un final impactante, mínimo decir impactante. La verdad es que el juego cada vez se vuelve más loco, más complicado. Estar pendiente de tantas cosas a la vez, las válvulas, las señales y de lo que dicen es una locura. Pero bueno, muy divertido, sigo recomendándolo. Y nada, pues si os ha gustado, ya sabéis, lo de siempre, darle a suscribir, darle like al vídeo, podéis dejarnos un comentario para cualquier cosa, o si queréis podéis invitarnos a un café, tenéis todos los enlaces abajo en la descripción, y si queréis ver las partidas anteriores, pues igual tenéis el enlace en la descripción, o podéis en nuestro canal directamente buscar la lista de reproducción. Espero que os haya gustado, y se despide el señor Pingüino. Hasta la próxima.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive